Hello, welcome to your stretch and flow. Now we will be focusing on spine mobilization. So that means we will be lengthening and stretching out the muscles of the back so that you can continue to move pain-free with ease and start to develop a sense of flow and freedom in your movements. So let's get started. Today, we're going to start in a 4-point kneeling position, fairly centered on our mat. We want to stack the wrist and the knees underneath the shoulders and the hips, finding equal distance. Actively pressing into the fingertips so we aren't loading and bearing into the wrist joints. Feeling that the spine is in a nice lengthened position so that we aren't allowing the tailbone to curl and drop towards the floor or vice versa, sinking into that low back or the shoulders. So we're keeping lots of support, maintaining the natural curves through the back of the neck, the rib cage, and the low back, but we're not exaggerating into any of those curves. As we're here, we're just going to start by focusing on our breath. So with the inhale, feeling the expansion through the backs and the sides of the rib cage. And then exhaling to just let all that air out, allowing the tension to release from the neck, the shoulders, the jaw, if you're holding on to anything there. Continuing to breathe. As you do, checking the hip flexors as well, that they aren't gripping and holding on. You can give the hips a little shift and wiggle if that helps to make sure they're released. And then just starting to pay a little bit more attention to the exhales. As you take your exhale, I want you to feel the waistline tightening like you're putting on a really tight belt that circles all the way around like a belt does do. And then as that is happening with your exhale, we're feeling the lift of pelvic floor. So with your inhale, we're feeling that expansion through the sides and the back of the rib cage. Exhale. Feeling the full waistline tighten as pelvic floor lifts. Couple more breaths. Feeling the release with your inhale and the support with your exhale. Taking your own timing as we go. And just remember, this is a video, so if you need to, at any point, you're going to pause, you're going to do your own thing, and then you're going to come back and join us when you're ready. Next exhale, we're going to pause here. Then, with your next exhale breath, we're going to connect the glutes to the hamstrings, starting to articulate the spine. So we're going into our cat stretch. One vertebra at a time is articulating into a nice round flexed position. Again, we're emphasizing the breath into the back and side of the rib cage as we're here, and then lengthening to release back out from tailbone to head, feeling the opening of the collarbones through the front of the chest as you reach the top of the head to the wall in front of you. Exhale. Tipping the tailbone, connect the glutes, hollow out the belly. Take that inhale breath into the back of the rib cage. Watching here, the shoulders aren't to the ears, so they're away, keeping that length of the neckline. And exhale, tailbone lengthens to release. Watching we don't over-release and once again sink into the belly and the back. So finding that long line. Few more, finding the own timing, following your breath. Exhale and inhale. Then exhale and inhale. We'll do 2. And last one. This time we're going to stay in that nice stretch, shifting the hips back to the heels. Allow the hands to drag in towards the knees just a bit. Shifting the hips forward, we're finding that opening of the chest, feeling the shoulder blades on the back as we tuck the toes. To once again shift the hips back, placing the heels to the ground. Taking a moment here to feel that lengthening of the low back, bit of compression for those hip flexors. A nice little stretch for the back of the calves and Achilles. And then when we're ready, we're going to place the knees back down, shifting the chest open through the shoulders. Hollow out the belly as you shift to stretch back. Continuing this rocking a few more times. Allow yourself to pick up the momentum just a bit to get things moving a little bit more. But again, find a pace that feels right for you. And if you need to hold any part of this stretch, please do so. And again, meet back with us when you're ready. From here, one more time, we're going to shift back. We're going to shift forward, untucking the toes. and releasing the arms long out in front of us. Breathing into that back and side of the rib cage, feeling the hips heavy on the heels. And then lengthening back up. We place the right hand in front of the left. Shift back into that right hip to feel the stretch through the right rib cage, shoulder, and full side body. You might even get some into a little bit of the outer arm. Couple breaths to stay, softening the hip flexor so you can really crease into the front. Inhale, we'll shift back up to place the palm. Left hand crosses in front of the right, shifting into the left hip to stretch out the left side body. Couple breaths to stay here, feeling again that open expansion with your inhales. Exhale, try to soften deeper into the stretch. And then your next inhale, floating back up one more time. This time continuing to circle the weight of your body through all 4 points. So we're still active through the fingertips, not loading into the wrists, but we do want to feel that we're shifting the weight equally into all 4 points. So if we were a clock, we want to hit all of the numbers on the clock. And then the next time that we come back to 12 o'clock, we're going to reverse. Allowing your breath to just be natural here, not worrying too much about where your inhales and exhales are. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1, to sit the hips back, reaching the fingertips forward, and then that scoop of the tailbone connecting the glutes to the hamstrings as you press the hips all the way forward past that cat stretch position to lengthen out to your long diagonal line. So we aren't sinking into the back here, we aren't sinking into the shoulders, staying supported so that everything is protected. And then from here, tailbone leads back, allowing for that arch through the spine to hollow out the belly away from the thighs, so we're not completely relaxed. Tailbone scoops, opening to lengthen up, and then tailbone leads back. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And we're going to keep the sit bones back over the heels, allowing the spine to continue that waving undulation.